Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. It's been a bit of a while since I've done one of these, but I'm back ready for the new season. Let's get into it. So United played yesterday against Atletico Madrid, won 2-1. Bryan Mbeumo with both goals, one from the penalty spot and one pretty fortuitous goal that kind of bounced off the keeper and went in, but a 2-1 win against the strong Athletic team. We'll take it. We'll definitely take it. A couple of things I'm going to look at this video, the performance of yesterday, what the transfer windows delivered or could deliver, and then why I think United fans should be a bit optimistic about this season. Okay. And yeah, I know it's pre-season, but this isn't just the pre-season of old. I think it's a good traits that we're building under Michael Carrick. Let's get into the game. United started off with the starting lineup. You see it on the screen right now. Went down after 5 minutes. Quite poorly defended cross, really. I had kind of stuck between two players, didn't know where to go and close down. And as the ball comes in, Euro kind of pushes the player out of the way, but doesn't jump to block or get a little piece on the ball and just floats straight in. With my coach's hat on there, I'd be telling centre-backs, full-backs, whoever it is in the area there, you've still got to jump, you've still got to protect. You still got to get something on the ball. You can't just, move the player out of the way and hope that somebody else cleans it up. You take the responsibility and you get it out of the area. But, it is what it is. And then, Shea Lacey won the penalty for Mbeumo in the 53rd minute for the second half. Really, really top feet. Little jink inside after Heaven passed him the ball outside the box. Gets himself into the box, drops his shoulder, beats the man, and I think it was Castillo that took him out. And the penalty and coolly slotted away by Mbeumo. And then the second one was a really nice press actually from United. Zirkzee's pressed the centre back. They've played in kind of a square ball out to the fullback, and Jack Fletcher's read it and pounced on it, and then positive going forward. First positive touch into the box, beats a man. I think he's got to find Mbeumo with a pass. It's kind of ricocheted off. He's played it across the box. It's ricocheted. Keeper's tried to clear it, bounced off Mbeumo and got in. And United win 2-1 and become the Snapdragon Cup champions. You'll never sing that. The noticeable things though from yesterday, 15-year-old JJ Gabriel got his debut. 82nd minute, I think, came in, got about 10 minutes in the game. This kid, and I'm going to say a couple of things. We have to be patient with him. We have to give him the right path to get down for him to become a full-time professional at Man United. There's talks of him getting a guaranteed 3-year contract at 17 years old, which, United need to do. It needs to happen because this kid has got unbelievable talents. I was listening to the Stretford Parrot yesterday, and they had Ryan Hopper on during the watch along, and he's coached him, he's trained him, and he said that you could see how determined and how much extra work he puts in off the field. Ryan also said that he spoke to staff at United, and they think he's the real deal, and the eye test definitely fits that. He's young, he's aggressive, he wants to score, he's 15, he's scoring in the 21s, he's making the under-18s look a piece of piss. It's a credit to him and his family of where he's at. So long live it, and I hope United can tie him up and put that $1 billion release clause in his contract when he signs it. Mason Mount. If he stays fit, which is a massive if, but if he stays fit, he could be like a brand new signing for Man United. I'm really, really liking him in this pivot role next to Santos. Now, I'm not saying we don't need another player in there, which we do. We 100% do. But if Mason Mount can stay fit, he could have a big season for Man United. He's up there with one of the most technically gifted players in the Premier League on his day. You take injuries out of it, you take everything out of it. He's a match winner. He presses relentlessly. He's got an eye for a pass, a goal. He's box to box. He doesn't stop. But his only problem has been his fitness and his injuries. If he could have a clean season, clean slate, now we're in year 4 at Man United, I believe. This needs to be his season. I think he's one injury away from not being a Man United player anymore. One long injury, should I say, not a big injury if it's to happen. But I thought he was unbelievable yesterday. Him and Santos are starting to build a really nice partnership in there, and that's with Mainoo to come back, Tielemans to even start playing. Jim Thwaites got on the field yesterday, who's got a big future at United, I hope. I'd like another signing. I really, really would. I'd like us to maybe go a little bit out the park somewhere. You know, the Sander Burges, the Tielemans that everyone's talking about. I'd love a Keith Smith at United. I think he could be the next big talent coming out of Europe. But yeah, I mean, I'm going down a little bit of a deep dive there. So it was a comeback win yesterday for United, and I know it's preseason and people are going to say that, but I think it matters. You know, we had a boring game against Wrexham. We've just get some legs in your minute, get some minutes in your leg, sorry. And then it was an easy 5-0 drubbing of Rosenborg where the academy kids just ran riot. But to yesterday's game was a little bit different. You know, bit of adversity to go 1-0 down, but come back and win 2-1. It's great. And it's good to see, you know, United aren't panicking. And after they scored that first goal, we were the better team. We were playing against a low block, Simeone's low block all game. So it's great. It really, really is good. And I do like this double pivot United playing. Andre Santos might be a fucking bargain at 50 million. United have done some good business, and I'll talk about that a little bit later, but his positioning defensively is very, very, very good. He gets himself into some spots to cut balls out, and knows when to lunge into a tackle, knows when to, you know, keep things in and around it. His line-breaking passes are excellent, so I think it's a good pickup from Man United. But all in all, yesterday's game, 2-1, you know, we'll take a good win. Up next, PSG in Gothenburg, I believe it is. So that'll be an exciting one. Couple of players coming back this week. I think, you know, Bruno, Darlow, maybe Cobby back in this week. There's quite a lot to come back in. Sesko's hopefully ready to go. Tielemans is going to get up to speed. But yeah, 2-1 win. We'll take it. On to the next one. As I was saying before, you know, United's business in the transfer window. Brian Andre Santos, Yuri Tielemans, Carl Darlow, Tynan Thompson, the young kid from Spurs. And, you know, there's interest in Tielemans. There's interest in Manu Kone. Slight rumours in Guimaraes and Believer. The big one this week that's happened is Lewis Hall. But I want to just go through Andre Santos for 48 million. It's a shrewd piece of business. His technical ability is class. It really, really is. He knows where to be off the ball. His line-breaking passes are excellent. Like something that we've not seen from a centre midfielder at United for a long time, probably since Carrick. And I think he's going to have a big year for United. It's a snip at 48 million. And then when you pair that with 35 million for Yuri Tielemans, who's not put on a United shirt yet, but everyone knows how classy he is. You know, he's one of the best midfielders in the Premier League, and we've got him for £35 million. It's great bit of business from Ineos. Now, do I think they need to do more? 100%. Carl Darlow, you know, coming in, buying days out the door. Onana's on another loan. I feel set with Lomans, but Darlow and Tommy and had a great game yesterday. Those three as the keepers for United. Happy days. I'm interested to see how Tynan Thompson does. You know, young winger, forward, 4 million from Spurs. He's going to be in and around training with the first team, playing for the 21s. Hopefully, try and get himself to break into that first team role. But you know, not going to be a say I'm fully versed in what he does, but the clips I've seen, he looks an exciting young player. So that could be something we look forward to. And kind of an in and a maybe out is Marcus Rashford coming back to United. You know, he's done his little Instagram post to Barcelona saying thank you very much, and basically said that move's not going to happen anymore, so he's got to come back to Man United. The rumours are he's going to be number 11, which what does that mean for Xerxes? Because he was still number 11. He's probably out the door to Juventus during the week, I'd say. But I like to think that Marcus Rashford can come back to Man United and prevail. You know, it's going to be tough for him. It's going to be extremely tough. He's going to have no grace period. He's going to have no, you know, like new signings kind of get a little bit of, well, he's new. Marcus Rashford ain't going to get that. The first time he doesn't track back or he waves his arms or does something, the Man United fan base, as toxic as most of them are going to be on him. Which, you know, some can say, yeah, he deserves it. Some will be backing him up. And I think it's 50-50. I think you can go either way on that. But he could be a breath of fresh air that, you know, he's had his little break and tried something new. And now can he come back and now can he work? I saw him work for England pretty well in the summer. So we'll see. But I could also see him leaving. I could also see him going to someone like a Spurs on deadline day or, you know, something different. But we need some signings. Man United needs some signings. I think Lewis Hall's the one that's ramping up right now, especially with Eddie Howe leaving and half of the Newcastle team leaving like they always do. That big feeder club up there, stepping stone club. Well, yeah, we'll see. We'll see where we get to with signings. You know, we lost Højlund, Casemiro's contract's there. We released Malacia, Sancho. Like I said, Onana's gone on loan. Tyler Frederickson's been sold. I think, you know, Xerxes probably going to go. If Ugarte was fit, he'd probably have gone. But I think We need a couple more bodies. Definitely need a fullback, another midfielder, and a backup forward. So we'll see what the window does and see what anyone else has planned. And one thing is right and is straight, and that nobody knows. Nobody has a clue who Man United is signing. I don't. I'm never in the know. I live in America. I don't know shit. But some of these pretend people on Twitter and TikTok and wherever they put their shit out there, nobody knows what they're doing. Journalists are getting butthurt. Samuel Lucas from The Sun, they're getting hurt because putting out shit because they're not getting briefed about these things. And I like that. I like the fact that we're not briefing, we want this guy, other than we did with Elliot Anderson in the summer, and people are saying it's a ruse, but they're not giving away anything. Nobody knew who was getting Santos or Tielemans in 2 days. And that's good. Brings that excitement back about transfers. You used to have to look on the back page of the paper or on teletext or what to find out who United was signing back in the day. Now I can go on Twitter or X, whatever it's called, and 17 people are saying that we're after this guy. It's like, okay, all right. And then he comes in, it's like, okay, all right. But anyway, on to the next part. A couple of talking points around why I think United fans should be excited for the next season. We finished third last year, and Michael Carrick's Man United accrued more points since he was the manager than any other team in the Premier League. Positive. We've done some good bit of business this summer so far. A couple more to come in. Positive. The continuity and the trajectory of where United look like they're going right now is good. We brought in Santos, Bruno's to still come back in from World Cup. All the players are still to come in. I think it's gearing United up to have another good season. It's going to be interesting to be back in the Champions League, and kind of like how we're doing this pre-season. It's kind of like going to a little European away game. You fly on the day before, stay, play, trip, and then come home. Getting the players back used to that format and that situation. And I think if we can improve on third, and if we stay third, I think it's an improvement. Not because of, we might have more points, we might do whatever, or we'll still finish third, but we're going to hopefully be playing 60 plus games next year rather than 40. That's an extra 20 games. It means you've done it over a long period of time, which means that finishing third will be excellent for us. So I think it's a great place to be in. The tactics look great. The players look up for it. They're well-oiled, they're gelling together, they're really good on and off the field. Michael Carrick's Man United fan, he's got them going in the right way. I think we could push for something big this year. I'd like to think, 21's coming, the Adam McCullough, #AdamMcCullough, first ever share of it. But I'd like to think that we could push for it. Do I think it's going to happen? No. But would I like it to happen? 100%. But I think it's going to be a positive season. I think we're on the right tracks. I think it's going great on the training ground, great on the field. We just need to kick on from it. The way United have been tested over this break, from Carrick coming into now, it's been a better time to be a United fan. Let's put it that way. The youth, I think the youth is another positive reason and a part to be excited about. The 5-0 jumping in Rosenberg, you saw some good players coming in and making some moments. I think, hot take, but I think keeping Amas at the club, even if we get Hall, and I know it's going to be tough, he's in his last year of his contract, and United only apparently wants 6 million for him, or clubs think that they can, United will accept 6 million for him, is by the by. But I think having him be in and around the squad, and if we do get Lewis Hall, and Luke Shaw's not got long left, so him and Hall is your left back set for 10, 15 years. You don't have to worry about that position, hopefully, But, all right, so I'm glad to be back. Season's around the corner. The excitement's building. I think yesterday was a good performance. The business we've done so far has been very, very sensible, and I think it's a pieces in place for a real step forward this season. All right, that's me for today. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, do all the good things. Find me on TikTok, Instagram. Follow those handles. Watch this YouTube video. Share it with your mates. Put in your WhatsApp groups. I'm still new to this. I want to grow as much as I can. I don't want to be a divisive channel where I'm just calling things out all the time. And I'm not that terrible channel that tries to put a wedge in the fan base with Brent and all these merry men. So I'll try and be as positive and as straight down the line as I can. And I hope you like it. Until next time, peace. Come on, United.